So welcome back to the second of our introductory workshops where we're talking about this new treatment system called NeuTone, also known as Advanced Neural Tuning. So this is going to be an exciting workshop because in this workshop we're going to teach you the first of the NeuTone Exercise Posture. So you're actually going to start to experience the benefits of this great new strategy. I'm also going to demonstrate to you the way that NeuTone can integrate with a chiropractic adjustment to give you much more effective outcomes. So we're inviting you to join us in the reconditioning revolution. My goal is to help you to get your body into better condition so that it looks after itself better, and so that you get better results from your chiropractic care, so that you get better results from your self-care that you do in between your visits to the chiropractor. So we're going to be teaching you strategies that are going to help to diminish and reset pain syndromes. Remember in the last workshop we talked about how a lot of pain is not coming from, necessarily a particular injury. Quite often it's due to problems in the gateway system, in your central nervous system, that's allowing these pain syndromes to persist and to hang around and to trouble you over a longer period of time than would normally be expected by just normal healing times. The other benefit is you're going to be learning how to tone and to recondition the deepest of your spinal muscles, the one that help your pure movements, your fine motor movements, the ones that maintain your body alignment and your posture. And we're going to be showing you a very strong harmonic stimulus that goes into your central nervous system to help to clean out, to reset, to retune that neural matrix gateway system, which will help to improve the communication that's going on between your brain and between your internal body functions. And another great benefit is that you're going to be learning a strategy that helps to release enormous amounts of stored tension, which can help to relax you and can improve your ability to be able to cope with your daily stresses and strains. So let's just quickly recap. We're going to be using a range of isotonic, slow, gentle stretches. These are really straightforward to learn, and they initiate a highly therapeutic neurological phenomenon that we've called therapeutic fasciculation. So this is pleasant trembles, tremors and twitches that you can develop in large groups of muscles when you learn how to develop the right degree of tension and tightness and stretch in those particular muscle groups. So you're going to need to learn how to initiate this phenomenon, and perhaps even more importantly is you need to learn how to not inhibit the response, which tends to be the natural reaction. Let's face it, if you start to feel a muscle twitching and tremoring when you're trying to move it, then you usually find a way to inhibit it, to turn it off. So this therapeutic fasciculation, we need to be able to learn how to develop the correct degree of tension in any particular muscle to find that point where it starts to fasciculate, to tremor, to tremble, to vibrate. So this is an isotonic contraction. What we've got to learn how to do is find a particular point of contraction and be able to maintain that degree of contraction at that same level so that we can sustain that harmonic response that we can develop there. And in order to do this, we're going to learn how to combine a particular positioning, postural positioning of the body, alongside learning how to tighten and tense particular areas to a certain degree to stimulate the therapeutic fasciculation to start off. So we're going to be learning about activation inhibition. We've got to learn how to activate the phenomenon, and we've got to learn how to not inhibit. So any muscle can develop therapeutic fasciculation, and it only happens at a certain point of tension in that muscle's activity. So the outcome of this will be you'll be able to relax these muscles, release the tension that's getting stored up in those muscle groups. And as a result, you'll also be improving the general tone and conditioning of those muscles so that they're better able to support you, hold you up, move you. And as part of this process, we're also going to be sending in large harmonic frequencies into your central nervous system, which will help to inhibit those pain pathways that may have become activated. Helps to release some of those lovely healthy endorphins and the other positive neurochemicals in our central nervous system. And as I said, it also helps you to expel stored tension. Remember, stress isn't what's killing you, it's your body's response to stress. And the negative response is stored tension. So let's get started. We're going to show you how to do the first exercise. Hopefully you'll start practicing as home straight away, and this will give you a little teaser and a taster of what's possible by using NeuTone. So our first posture, we're finding a reasonably firm surface to lie on, lying flat on our back. Then we're bending up our knees and hips so that we're resting our soles of our feet on the flat surface. Now we need to be creating tension, so we need to push in with our heels and we need to lift ever so slightly with our pelvis. So when you first begin, I suggest that you're barely even lifting your hips off the floor. You almost want to maintain a degree of contact with the surface so that when you start to first feel the fasciculation, you can really get the biofeedback that it's happening. So pushing in with our feet, lifting up with our hips, gradually increasing the amount of contraction that it takes to hold that position. Increasing, slightly decreasing, trying to find the point where you start to get a little bit of a twitch and a tremor, and then trying to hold that degree of tension where you can maintain that harmonic movement in the muscle groups, and it becomes quite a pleasant experience where you're just feeling vibration and fasciculation for the first time. So it takes a bit of persistence, a little bit of patience. You've got to be willing to experiment a little bit to learn how to do it. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes. You can literally initiate it at the drop of a hat once you get good at this. But in the early days, it can take just a little bit of practice to find that point where the muscle starts to fasciculate. So let's make it easier for you. Let's watch a demonstration of how this works. So we're just going to be learning how to find our fasciculation, which is certain muscles, when you get them to a certain point in contraction, they like little twitch a little bit, and if you hold it in that particular point of contraction, it'll actually start to, vibrate or to tremor or to tremble. So the idea that we're doing it for is we're trying to activate lots and lots of little pathways up through your nervous system to relax your nervous system and to tune everything up internally. So I'm just going to take you through specific postures, positions, and what you've got to do in those positions if you actually got to create tightness, and it's up to you to actually vary the amount of tightness so that you can find that point where the muscle starts to jump. So usually what we'll do is first one we're going to just bend your knees up, so feet flat on the table there, without your shoes being on the table. So what we're going to be doing is obviously we're going to push in with our feet and we're going to slightly lift up with our hip, but we barely even want to get your hips off the table. You almost want to be still kind of touching the table so you can actually feel when you get the little bit of a jump. So yeah, then you've got to slightly increase or decrease how hard you're kind of pushing to see if you can find that little jumpy feeling. There you go, you get it straight away. You might pop your hands out of the way. So the key is now is we just want to hold that position, for as long as we kind of feel comfortable. So some people can't hold it for very long, others can stay there for quite a while once you've been doing this for a little while. But the principle is we're just trying to get that actual little vibration, that oscillation, or as they call it, fasciculation going. So now there's lots and lots of waves of energy going up through your nervous system. So just hold that for as long as you kind of feel comfortable. That's enough. Yeah. So when you first start, usually when people first start, it might take them a little while to find that. Obviously you've done this a couple of times, so you found it pretty much straight away. But you know, for beginners, I find that they almost have to kind of experiment a little bit, and they have to be a little bit persistent and resilient to actually find it. Some people get a bit frustrated and go, I can't do it, but you know, if you keep playing with the tightness, you'll find that little jump and then hold that position, and then you can get that vibration going on. Now what I want to do for you now is I want to demonstrate to you how this therapeutic fasciculation and these NeuTone postures integrate so beautifully with a modern chiropractic adjustment to give you much deeper and consistent responses to each and every adjustment. So we can use it as an important biofeedback tool during your chiropractic adjustment. And as a result of this, we're aiming to increase and improve your body's therapeutic response, hopefully giving you bigger changes in a shorter period of time. Now we know from decades of chiropractic research that a chiropractic adjustment can improve a wide range of physiological functions. And the way this works is through the central nervous system. So I know most people associated with chiropractic with backs and bones and muscles and joints, but the ultimate goal of a chiropractic adjustment is to improve the central nervous system, the function of the system that coordinates and regulates all of the other body functions. So this style of adjustment is more interactive than you're probably used to. You're not just going to be lying on the table having the adjustment done to you, and then you get up after that relaxing time and walk out and hope that the chiropractor's hit the right buttons. It's going to be more of an interactive adjustment. So you're going to be guided to focus your attention, your positioning, and the amount of tension into specific areas of your body in conjunction with your adjustments. So as a result, you're going to experience that therapeutic fasciculation in those areas where you have been adjusted. So these trembles, tremors, and releases of tension that you'll experience will be quite powerful. And the end result of this is that after an adjustment you feel invigorated, you feel very relaxed, it's almost somewhat fatigued, as though you've done a little bit of a workout, and this literally is very similar to the highs that you experience from doing a good exercise session. So let's watch a demonstration of how a NeuTone style of adjustment works for you. So now we're going to integrate our adjustment in with your fasciculation. So I'm going to be finding the area of your spine that needs to be adjusted, and then it's your job to then, you know, stimulate that area with the contractions and the vibrations. So the thing you've got to realise is that even though you're lying still, it's not like everything's switched off. Everything's still working in there, so all of the muscles are still getting like a steady, you know, level of stimulation from the nervous system. They're still all active and they're still all kind of contracting to a degree. So if you can imagine, if your body was perfect, if there was absolutely no sort of imbalances or problems anywhere inside of there, then your body would be nice and symmetrical. You know, all the muscles would have the same amount of tension and tightness on both sides. So what I'm doing when I'm checking your spine is I'm trying to find the areas that are mucking that up. So let's say if you have a problem somewhere, it usually leads to tension on one side of the body more on one side than it does on the other. So the way that we test that is we actually use the bottom of the feet as almost like our landmark. So let's say your body was perfectly symmetrical, perfectly balanced, you know, perfectly clear. Then if I press up against your feet, almost like I'm becoming like the floor, you know, creating the stress into your body, then the theory is that your legs will level up. Because if you stand on the ground, you don't stand on one foot, do you? You stand on 2 feet, and the reason for that is because your body's able to, you know, balance and compensate. So if something's out of balance somewhere, then it's going to create left and right differences. So that shows up as either a left or a right, you know, leg that doesn't balance up. So the word we use is adaptability. So a lot of it happens in here. So when you're walking, you know, this has to move and it has to be like a shock absorber. But other things are also moving and compensating at the same time. So I'm checking your feet. So at the moment this left leg's shorter than the right leg. Okay, so now what I've got to do is I've got to work a way through your spine and try and find the area that might be causing that imbalance. So I'll just get you to turn your head one way, turn your head the other way, down the middle. So that just tests a few different points inside your neck, and then I'm going to go and test some strategic points on the spine to see if I can find the one that unlocks your body almost. So when I press on the bottom of your sacrum, your legs now are able to level up. So what that tells me is that this is kind of the point that's going to unlock your body the best. So I can test other points, and the principle of this technique is that there's only going to be one point in the body that's going to balance things up. So once I find one, I don't have to go looking for 50 others, because I know that that's the only one that's going to be there. So now we're going to adjust that area, and we use our integrator, and the reason we use the integrator is because it's a really nice little impulse of energy in through your nervous system. You could do any other kind of adjustment as well, you know, like the old-fashioned style, or lots of different ways of adjusting, but I prefer to use the integrator. So I'm going to adjust your sacrum, and then your job is to then do our, you know, knees in, heels up, hips up, to try and create that fasciculation into that same area. So we're sort of working together to really, you know, tune and balance that one area. There you go, so you can push in, lift, lift. So just as long as you feel like you're comfortable. One of my goals when developing the NeuTone system was to give people take-home strategies so they can continue the healing process in between their adjustments and their visits to the chiropractor. So I've got strategies that we want you to learn to integrate into your normal routine, so you can use the exercise postures as a relaxation at the end of the day. You can integrate it into your workouts. You could even utilize it at work or in particular environments where you can learn how to release the tension and to continue the healing process on a daily basis. So we want you to be able to continue to self-correct and heal. We want you to be able to actually facilitate and improve on the effects that you're getting during each and every adjustment. And the other benefit is that as you progress, as you utilize these strategies, you're going to learn more and more complex and advanced responses during your adjustment sessions and also in your home use of these strategies. So make sure you get in touch with us as soon as you can. You can email us, you can call us, you can find us on the Facebook and talk to us through there. It's important that you get along to one of these introductory sessions as soon as you can. Even if you're not close to us, get in touch and pop your name down onto one of our waiting lists for future workshops in your area. Get in touch as soon as you can so that you can really start to experience this phenomenon firsthand.